All right, Steeler fans, welcome back. It is time for the second half of the Wednesday show, which means it's time for the mailbag segment. I put out the tweet every Tuesday. You respond, and I answer your question every Wednesday. So let's get this show off on the right foot. Believers with the Ride or Die Crew poll of the week said, who is the hottest seat this year? Options were Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin, or Terrell Austin. I voted for Terrell Austin. I've said it a million times. I'll continue to say it. Mike Tomlin has the golden ticket, meaning he is welcomed in Pittsburgh until he doesn't want to be there anymore. I don't think they'll ever fire that man. Not saying they should fire him. Not saying they shouldn't fire him. I'm just stating my belief on what the Steelers organization thinks about the head coach. I think Arthur Smith will be given I'm sure he signed at least a 3-year contract. They're probably going to give him that time. And then obviously that leaves Terrell Austin. Terrell Austin, we know that his contract could be expiring soon if the defense underperforms. They've brought in a lot of pieces for him. Let's see what he can do. I think Terrell Austin out of those three is on the hottest seat. Believers also asked, does Najee's eye injury affect his possible comp pick return? Remember, the comp pick formula, it's multifaceted. Dave Schofield was on over a month ago to talk about this. You can go back and listen to that show again, where he was talking about, listen, it's about the contract they sign, but it also impacts how much they play. So if Najee Harris's eye injury has him missing regular season games, then yes, it would hurt his comp pick formula in terms of what the Steelers could get for him. However, all reports are that he should be fine. He should be ready for the preseason, if not by then the regular season. So unless this is going to linger into the regular season, that shouldn't impact it at all. All right, let's go to Jeff Coons, our buddy from up north. He said, greetings from Not Mad Canada. Is it possible for Steeler fans to not freak out every time a Dallas quarterback throws a pass to George Pickens and every time Minkah Fitzpatrick does agility drills in Miami? And he said, hashtag men in shorts. He said, nothing matters until the regular season schedule begins in September. Let's focus on the development of our team this summer rather than dwelling on the clips and glances at those who are no longer here. You're spot on. There was a clip of Dak Prescott throwing a deep pass to a receiver. It was not George Pickens, by the way. It was a much smaller receiver. I'm not sure who that was. And there's, of course, going to be players or fans that pine after players who are no longer here. They love George Pickens or they love Minkah Fitzpatrick, and so they're like pining after them. I understand that, but I also want everyone to understand this and hear this, that in my opinion, if you're going to be so focused on what the Cowboys or the Dolphins in Minkah's case are doing, you're going to miss out on some really cool things about this current Steelers team. This current Steelers team that is getting ready to write their own story. This current Steelers team with players that are going to be trying to do whatever they can to get noticed, to do whatever they can to make the roster, whatever they can to be a part of that 53-man roster when all is said and done. It starts today, Wednesday, July 23rd. And if I'm being honest with everyone out there, I think training camp is one of my favorite times of the year because you get so much access to players. They get interviewed more often. The coaches are interviewed almost daily. It's a great look into the development of the team. And then when you figure out who the team is, then you go out and, okay, let's talk about them versus them. In this case, like week 1, Steelers versus Jets. Don't worry about the players that aren't here, as Jeff Coons said. Worry about the players that are here and how they develop and how they look this season. That's what this is all about. Brian Haynes asked several questions. He said, first, is this list clickbait? Boz at 8, an untested rookie at 10. This has to be a joke, right? So he screenshotted a picture from Fantasy Football. I don't know what that is. It says 2025 kicker rankings, 1 through 10. Number 1 was Jake Bates from Detroit. Number 2 was Chase McLaughlin from Tampa Bay. 3, Brandon Aubrey from Dallas. 4, Cameron Dicker from the LA Chargers. 5, Tyler Bass from Buffalo. 6, Jason Sanders from Miami. 7, Jake Elliott from Philly. 8, Chris Boswell from Pittsburgh. 9, Harrison Butker from Kansas City. And 10, Tyler Loop, who's a rookie who has never even kicked a ball in the NFL. This is nothing but clickbait. It has to be nothing but clickbait. How anyone could look at any stats. You talk about kicking statistics. If Chris Boswell's not in the top 3, you can take that list and throw it straight into the trash. Absolutely throw it in the trash. I don't care. And Harrison Butker also has a really great career. He's won Super Bowl, made very meaningful kicks in Super Bowls. That should mean something. The fact that he's 9th Take this list, burn it, throw it in the trash, whatever you want to do. Don't pay it any mind. Another question from Brian. Jeff, would you rather see the Steelers win the Super Bowl and have our top 5 players retire or miss the playoffs and watch Tomlin on... Okay, let me rephrase this. Would you rather see the Steelers win the Super Bowl and have the top 5 players retire or miss the playoffs and watch Tomlin, Austin, and Smith go? Give me the Super Bowl, man. Win a Super Bowl. That's it. Like, he says hashtag hard choices. That's not a hard choice for me. Win a Super Bowl and your top 5 players retire or miss, whatever. Win a Super Bowl. That's all it is. Another one from Brian. What are you looking to most at training camp? I'm interested to see if we see any new looks on offense and defense. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that. You might get some. I'll tell you what I look forward the most. I love to see how they plan on using or at least trying to use certain players. We will finally start to see, when they get pads on especially, how do the Steelers plan on utilizing Jalen Ramsey? Will it be at corner? Will it be at safety? Will it be in the slot? Will it be outside? If he's outside, who gets moved inside? Does Joey Porter go inside? I don't think so. Darius Slay? Doubt it. Who does play in the slot? I also love the stories of those players that we've heard about, but we don't know what they can do. And so when you're thinking about a Sebastian Castro, safety out of Iowa, undrafted player, how does he do? Is he the next Elijah Riley to turn heads and maybe make the team? I don't know. I'm anxious to see the young players that we haven't seen from last year. I want to see Roman Wilson. I want to see Troy Fautanu. I want to see Broderick Jones on the left side. I want to see Zach Frazier's second year. I want to see the current rookies: Caleb Johnson, Derek Harmon, Wyatt Black, Jack Sawyer. Dude, I can't stress enough how excited I get for training camp. They're back. Is it all meaningful? For me as a Steeler fan, it is. For you as a Steeler fan, it should be. Does it mean they're going to win a bunch of games? No, but it's all about the development of these players. That's what I'm excited to see. Let's go to Dave Dixon. Hey, Jeff, what do you think of the throwback jerseys? I wish they'd swap the tan pants out for black or gold. Definitely don't want all gold. All gold, again, said it in the first half, like Jeremy Betts wants all gold, like looks like a stupid canary. No. I'm not a fan of the jerseys. I'm not a fan of the pants. The combo is hideous. I love the helmets. Love the helmets. I think the helmets are awesome. If they wore those helmets with like the color rush, that'd be pretty cool. If they wore those helmets and did almost like a similar throwback from that they did in 2007 to 2011, those were the black jerseys that looked just like the color rush jerseys, but with the white pants and the stripes down the side. I don't know. I guess maybe I convinced myself that the Batman throwbacks were what was going to come, and instead they're regurgitating the 1933 throwbacks again. Say la vie. All right, let's finish this up with Steeler Fan 69 with a little bit of humor. He said, hello, my friend. I tried to steal spaghetti from the grocery store, but the female guard saw me, and I couldn't get pasta. Very good. Next, a king and queen walk into a bar. The bartender says, sorry, no drinks. You are not 21. And lastly, my granddad lost his tongue in the war. He never talks about it. That last one was the best. Totally redeem yourself. All right, DEF CON levels, I'll give you a 3.5 because I can do halves with the DEF CON for the jokes. But good stuff, good questions as always. I thank you all for the Ride or Die crew that participate in the mailbag every single week. This is it, folks. It's hard for me to illustrate this any differently than the Steelers are back. They are back. We always talk about the lull between the end of mandatory minicamp and training camp. It is over. It is over. We can talk about real football. Is it going to be football in shorts for the first 4 or 5 days? Yes. Not the Steelers' fault. They got to follow the rules. But at the same time, we're going to be able to talk about football. And then when they get the pads on and we gear up for a preseason game, we're going to be talking about football. But lastly, I want to tell you that from this moment on, it's going to fly by. It's going to fly by. And so try to avoid, and Dave Schofield said this eloquently last year, try not to constantly look forward to the next thing. So when you're sitting there and you're watching practice or you're tracking practice at steelcurtainnetwork.com on our tracker, and you're like, yeah, I just can't wait till they put the pads on. Okay, yeah, you can be excited for that. the pads come on. Man, I can't wait for that first preseason game. And then that comes, man, I can't wait for the first regular season game. Pretty soon, we are in October, November, December, and you're saying, holy crap, what just happened? Enjoy the process. Enjoy every bit of the process. And we are going to be with you every step of the process at Steel Curtain Network, both on the podcast side as well as on the website, steelcurtainnetwork.com. Make sure you check us out. It is completely free. All you got to do, and I would recommend you go to the top of the page, create an account, again, free. Comment on the articles. I'm in the for the articles that I write, I am in that comment section. You can check out my State of SCN, which will be coming out today at probably 7 a.m. Eastern Time. You have questions about the website, go to that article, check it out, leave a comment. I'll be there checking it out as well. But we appreciate every single one of you that consumes our content in some way, shape, or form. We would be nothing without you. And let's go. Here we go. Steelers 2025. They are gearing up. I know you're ready. I'm ready. And we'll be back on Friday with Jeremy Jerome Betts and the All Bets Are Off segment, as well as the latest news around the Steelers. So you know he finished these up. Be safe, be kind, and God bless. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you on Friday, folks. Go Steelers.